Welcome, everybody. The cutoff race to the round of 16 for the ARCS A-Square Cup Series playoffs is here in Thunder Valley. Under the lights, Bristol Motor Speedway plays host to a very critical race to some drivers' championship ambitions here tonight. I'm Carmen, Sienna, alongside me, Kevin Young, to present tonight's action here from Bristol. And Kevin, short track racing typically means tempers flare, and with championship ambitions on the line, what are we expecting tonight? See if we can fix audio issues real quick then, making sure.
It'd be helpful if I unmuted myself. So let's continue on my point here. It's going to be a situation where there's a one groove racetrack. You're kind of middle to high groove. You can see some kind of cars pinch to low groove. But with all short tracks, you're just going to see a situation where if someone's holding you up and someone's kind of not letting you by, you may have to give them a little tap in the rear and send them up the racetrack just a little bit, try to get around. So it's going to be a situation where cars are going to kind of have to be a little bit of aggressive, especially with those drivers on the bubble coming tonight. And we'll go over the points in about a minute here. But drivers like Emma Kruger, Ryan Pennell, currently below the cut line, needing good finishes to get in or stage points too. So they're going to have to be a little bit aggressive to make sure they can get themselves a chance to point their way in or even win the race.
Absolutely. Talk about the point standings as they currently run. We'll show those point standings to you here. Tommy Reynolds and Bren Roberts, they are locked in based on points there. Seth Wansing in as well, having won the race last week in Kansas. The cut line sits right there between Jeremy Breo and Kevin Feemster, and McKruger sitting outside that cut line as well. So very important to make sure that you got those point standings in hand before tonight's race. Actually, excuse me, that actually looks like it is out of date. That looks like before last week at Kansas. Make sure that we can get that turned in. Okay, we'll update that for you real quick.
And while you do that,
there we go. Now it's updated.
Yeah, there we go. So there's the updated stats.
So the situation for some fan favorites like Emma Kruger, still the same, still sitting outside the top 12, needing to get in. Emma Kruger scored 0 stage points last week at Kansas and needed to score something in those stages at Kansas. Now has to kind of kick that can down the road and get a really good result here tonight. Stephen Oberstat in 12th. Is last place in that cut line situation. Very vital situation now for those. You look at Feemster, Oberstat, Ryan Pennell, Emma Kruger. All of that is very vital. Looking very, very likely that Jeremy Breo will not be present for tonight's race. So the defending series champion will not be able to defend the crown over the next 7 races.
Yep, if he's not here in the next 3 minutes, then it will be official, and we will crown ourselves a new champion in 7 weeks' time, which is probably the way, obviously, Jeremy Brett would not want to go out. But with personal things, we hope whatever is ailing him or whatever it is, he can get back here and race a couple races before season concludes. But at the very least, if he does not show up, we will crown new champion. Same thing with Austin Pennell as well. There's no sign of him popping in quite yet. And if he doesn't pop in the next 3 minutes, he will also be eliminated as well, meaning 2 spots of the 4 eliminated are already done. And we have 2 more things to note. One more thing to kind of take note of as well. Right now, one driver that is above the line is not currently present at the moment. That is the number 23. We saw him last week get a good finish at Kansas. Tommy Withers. He's not currently present on the driver lineup screen right now at the moment. Again, he could be a late entry 2 minutes ago. We'll have to see on that. But if he does not make it as well, he's 18 points right now above the cut line of Matthew Leiter. So in that situation, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out in that regard. But he's got to hope here that maybe some good luck comes his way if he doesn't show up, because it's going to be a tall ask to hang on to staying inside the top 12.
Absolutely, and as you see, qualifying time has elapsed. 17 of the 18 entries for today's race have already qualified. The only one that has not is the 3 of Stephen Oberstat. Kenny Michelle will have pole position. For those that have not caught up or have been in and out of the A-Square Cup Series season, once we enter the playoffs, there's no heat races, so no extra chance to make up track positions. Where you qualify now is where you start this 250 lap race coming up. So very important to get this right. Michelle and Marshall at the front of the field have gotten it right. So has Seth Wansing, who has picked up momentum at the right time here this week in the playoffs here Obviously, a third place to kick off the playoffs, a win last week, so he's already into the round of 12, but also qualifying third. Qualifying performances have gone up for that 9 crew.
Yeah. Sunday Money Racing, like I said, has been a very strong team, and we saw that they're in the middle stretch of the summer. And then that it's worth noting right now, they are second in the constructors to Line Power. And it's worth noting Line Power made the moves they need to do to get themselves a strong, consistent lineup. And coming to the end of the stretch, it looks like it's going to be a 2-horse race in the battle for the constructors between Line Power and Sunday Money Racing. And it's going to be interesting to see who duels out. But Seth Wanzing making sure that there were questions during the summer months that he looked kind of like a little bit, I wouldn't say the weakest link on the team, but definitely wasn't really pulling his weight per se with the cars around him. But now he's definitely shown that he definitely proves why he's the team leader. He's the one charring the flag in the battle, and he's showing that with his good performances late and really picking it up. So we'll see if he can keep that good form tonight, or Sunday Money Racing, who's won the past 2, can make it a clean sweep of the round of 16.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, points as they run in this contest right now. ICC, Tommy Reynolds, Brendan Roberts, Seth Wanzing, they are already effectively in this race, or onto the round of 12.
Yeah.
But you're looking down, you're looking at Withers, Wright, Leiter, Feemster, Overstat, Pinnell, Kruger. 2 drivers again will get knocked out by the end of tonight, on top of Jeremy Bravo and Austin Purnell, who will not show up and they will not score any points. That is a very critical cycle there. Everyone, genuinely, everyone 8th on down still has to race for something tonight.
Yeah, can't take anything for granted here. If you have a bad run, you crash out, and you get last place points billings, it may not be enough, especially if you don't get stage points. There's one fast repair, but let's say you get an incident on lap 1, and then there's another incident lap 15, you total the car, and you don't get any stage points, and some of your competitors do end up getting points. You could find yourself just kind of having hope and pray that you can get yourself through to the next round. So you don't want to obviously take a chance if you can help it. You want to keep the car clean, you want to keep the car situated, and you want to make sure you bring it home and at least get some points so you can give yourself a chance to fight for the next round. Because, like, look at the 2 drivers currently on the outside right now. Emma Kruger and Ryan Pinnell. Ryan Pinnell, great at super speedways, probably his strong suit. Emma Kruger, great at road courses. Charlotte Robles in the next round. So both drivers know if they can get to that round of 12, they got a track that's in their wheelhouse that they feel like they can win at and give themselves a good round to the round of 8 or get points as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But for some of these drivers, they got a strong next 3 rounds. But they got to make sure they get to the round of 12 in order to make that work.
Now looking at Seth Wanzing, last week's race winner. Not running on board with him. He qualified 3rd. Fantastic run for him. Had a track that's traditionally not been kind to him. We'll see if those fortunes turn around. Likewise, Emma Kruger needing a little bit more magic. Again, 2nd place is what worked tonight, but some stage points would go a long way too.
So their main rival right now is Ryan Pinnell, currently behind in that regard by 4 points. So if, let's say, first stage, she gets a 2nd place, Ryan Pinnell gets a 7th, she overtakes Ryan Pinnell for 13th, and then is got the chance because her main rival right now is that 12 car, and also one of the drivers is currently above the line, whether it be the 23, 42, the 21, the 3, or even the 83. So again, a lot of rivals that either Emma Kruger and Ryan Pinnell are trying to catch and dispose of to try to get themselves a chance to keep fighting for this championship.
Yeah, right now, Emma Kruger hanging on for dear life to a championship ambition as a rookie in the A-Square Cup Series. And keep in mind, Ryan Pinnell has been successful at Bristol already this year. Already podiums on both the asphalt and the dirt here at Bristol this year. So Ryan Pinnell, pretty successful at this track. This track does suit him pretty well. We'll see if it suits him well in the race here tonight. Didn't qualify where he wanted to, but obviously 250 laps. It's a long race.
Yes, it is.
Danny Michelle fastest there. Pole sitter fastest in warm-up as well with a minute left. And Kruger practicing believe to be a pit entry, maybe? No.
No, maybe she made a slight mistake there. Again, we love every week. Matthew Kent, our race control here in the A Square Cup Series, loves to let every driver know to make sure you back it up. You'll see here the 14 is going to be a little sideways there, but practice your pit road entry and exit, especially at a track like Bristol. If we get green flag running, A, you got to know where your pit box is, and then B, you got to make sure at the same, obviously a little bit not big enough field, so no one's pitting on the backstretch. But also on that same point, you're going to want to make sure.
Everyone has to pit off of turn 2 because it's a single pit lane. And we'll see this maybe. See if we can find this from somebody. But there's somebody that's going around this track here. And we'll actually probably pause it here. You see that blue line on the apron? That is the boundary line for pit lane. You have to enter out of turn 2, and you have to stay down below that blue line around the entire track. You will lose a ton of time on pit lane in green flag pit stops. But you got to do it. You got to make sure you're picture perfect at it, too.
Yeah. Don't want to wrath the gods of the you want to wrath the iRacing and race control stewards by making a mistake.
So here we go. We'll look down at it. Daniel Michelle and Edward Marshall at the front of the field. They will be row 1 ahead of Seth Wanzing and Kevin Feemster. Patrick Oberstadt, Emma Kruger in row 3. For Kruger, one of her best starts at a short course. See if she can convert that into a race win here tonight. Josh Gaiman, Brandon Fetterplace in row 4. Row 5 is Donald Ray and Tommy Reynolds. Ryan Pinnell finished on the podium last time we were here, finished 3rd. Trying to do that again, we'll have to do that from the inside of row 6 alongside Austin Mongold. A little further down the order in this 18-car field, you have David Wright and Brandon Proudfoot in row 7, Matthew Leiter and Tom Sears in row 8, Elvis George and Stephen Oberstadt will make up the very tail end of this 18-car field. Again, things as they run this little over a half-mile high-banked oval. Has a lot of nicknames. Thunder Valley, the last great Coliseum. Known for its tempers, known for its ferocity, and known for eating up cars, tires, parts, and egos. Someone's going to conquer it. Josh Gaiman did on the dirt back in April. Who conquers the concrete? We are going to find out. $18 cars, all of them fighting for something, either to play spoiler or to extend their championship ambitions. Daniel Michelle, front of the field. Edward Marshall alongside in second. 3rd place belongs to Seth Wanzing. 4th place will be Kevin Feemster. Everyone in red on the left side of your screen are playoff drivers. Those in black are not. 4 drivers will join those in losing that red color. Who will it be? Pace car pulls in. We're going to find out. The Thunder Valley Night Race is underway. We're racing at Bristol.
Guys, I'm getting a little bit racy there already. Trying to find holes, trying to find spots to go up or down. Get your position, try to hang on here. Ooh, a little bit of a few cars getting loose there on that front stretch out of 1.
Donald Ray, one of them.
They'll keep it clean and they'll keep it green as everyone's still jockeying for position. But right now, Dan Michelle getting a comfortable gap here on team boss Seth Wanzing for 2nd. And ooh, 41 there, gets a little slowed up. Emma Krug gets around. There's going to be a bit of a train as Gaiman's going to try to follow suit here, as you can just see on that high groove. For that battle for just outside the top 5.
Tells embarrassing exactly how quick these cars are here. Donald Ray already in pit lane. And Michelle running around right now in the race lead. Doing a phenomenal job running that outside lane. And I have 2 trains of thought. One train of thought is run the outside all night, every night. And then the other train of thought will be try to make that inside lane work a little bit. So far.
We saw it in real life. We saw it last night at the Bristol race. We saw it also in the Xfinity race as well, even though it's obviously different cars, but worth noting is that the high line is kind of the feels like the way of row, where you want to run that high groove and you can kind of get the good run off the corners, pinch it off the accelerator, and keep the speed you're going. But the thing that could really make it a pain is if you catch lap traffic at the wrong time or get in traffic at the wrong time, and next thing you know, you're going to have a situation where a car ahead of you is going to be in your line, and then you're going to have to fight for it. So we'll go back here. You can see a little bit of replay of Tom Sears getting a little bit loose here. Ends up coming close to clicking the wall. Does not end up hitting it. We'll back it off the track safely, but going to cost himself some time for that number 14 machine, who needs to keep a good run going here and not go multiple laps down if he wants to ensure he goes to the round of 12.
Right now, he's already 1 lap down. Donald Ray's already down 3. Early on in this race. Edward Marshall got loose there. Feemster going to try to get around. A little bit of physicality there.
Yeah. Again, right now they're a bit lenient. They know, like, look, it's still lap 11. Edward Marshall also kind of knows he's not a playoff driver here. You don't want to end up taking out a playoff driver because the punishment may be a bit worse than taking out a non-playoff driver. So there's a bit of a situation where you kind of want to show a little bit of respect to the drivers that are running for a championship, like they would hope they respect you. But at the same point, when we get down to, let's say, lap 225, 250, that is not going to be as friendly as we're seeing it right now unfold. You can see right now, Marshall, even though it's not shown as perspective, Marshall is actually backing up Feemster in the game, and Gaiman is right behind this 21 here. And a little bit of a train is forming here for throwing back. There you see Gaiman's onboard perspective rocking a new paint scheme. Not running the yellow and blue Ukrainian style 23 Simmer machine. Now he's running a bit of a different paint look here. Some are sponsors, though, as he is currently trying to chase his way into the top, well, are in the top 5, trying to make a move up the 4th here and keep that gravy train rolling.
Not missing a whole lot up front. Daniel Michel still leads the way.
Just under a second ahead of Seth Wanzing. Speaking of there, Seth Wanzing running the Miller Lite scheme. Scheme that thinks it brings him luck. There's a third. Edward Marshall still holding strong here, but he's got a Feemster who now has got a pack behind him. So the pressure is on that 21. If he thinks he can get around, he has to try, or else he may end up getting drained by the 61, the 70, the 7, and the 41. A lot of fast cookies in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So you don't want to end up kind of open the door for one, and then Pandora's boxing yourself, and next thing you know, you get trained by another 3 vehicles.
Once you start losing positions, you don't stop really ever losing them.
Looks like Feemster's kind of getting the run he needs right there. There he had a chance. But he's riding high for days, but you can just see in the background there, Emma Kruger is trying the low groove. Going where they ain't is her kind of strategy right now. Thinking maybe she's got a bit of speed on that lowish middle to low groove there and trying maybe to find some extra time down there. We've seen it, the kind of reference to Champ Car Series not Champ Car Series, the ABN Admin Box Cup Series, I should say, where we saw it Charlotte. Different cars, though, but no one was really running that high groove, and then a few drivers said, all right, try it. We'll try to see if we can make it work, and it worked for eventual race winner Philip Snipes, so going where they aren't is the best strategy. But right now we got a pass. Here's Gaiman. Saw Feemster check up just a bit, running that high groove, and the 61's on the strike to try to get himself into 4th position, but it's going to have to be patient.
And now he's down there. He's going to have to stay down there a little bit. Kruger's picked her line, thinks that the outside is going to be what works here a little bit.
Now she goes back low, though. So she's kind of just finding where the car feels comfortable right now. Kind of a feeling out process, if you will. Feemster, though, saw the opportunity from Gaiman, held it off, but now wants to try his luck. Ooh, bit of a checkup there. 61 almost kicks in
just that much slower right now. That inside line works well.
Oh, yeah, you can see the times lost right now. If you look on the left side of your screen, that gap is now 4.7 to Michelle and half that to Seth Wanzing. So maybe a new train of leader here is important to try to get caught up here, because right now Michelle just crossed the start-finish line. This is showing you how small this track is, but Michelle, Feemster gets around, Gaiman gets around, Marshall Currently slotted in P5. Emmerker going to try to follow suit here. Get a little higher because she needs stage points. And right now, her main rivals, Matthew Leiter, Ryan Pinnell, Stefan Oberstadt, currently all not in the points right now in the moment for stage points, so she would give herself a good leg up if things run where they may.
About 28 underway. It's been all green so far, despite a couple of spins from Donald Ray and Tom Sears. Everything's still looking good. Stephen Overstadt's just gone a lap down here. The first car lap down. Ours George next on that list.
Yes.
There's Daniel Michelle. And there's Ours George just down at the bottom of the screen. Yellow Submarine, number 2 machine.
Now, his car going to lap down isn't going to help the 14's case. Tom Sears obviously had that incident right now. 1 down. He's battling Stefan Oberstadt, obviously, who just went 1 down. When Alphas George eventually goes 1 down here, as you'll see right now. He's going to have to fight those cars to try to get himself back in the lucky dog spot. But every time Michelle moves his way up through the field, puts another car around, it's going to put him in a spot where he's going to have to chase more and more vehicles down to try to get it up to the front, if you will.
Reynolds sitting down in the 9th position at the moment. You notice a little bit of something special on Tommy Reynolds' machine. That ribbon on the front banner, a tribute to a member of the avian community. Dylan McDonald lost his uncle there last week. One of the first events, really, for that team to run. Reynolds can't run on Monday evening tomorrow night at Homestead, Miami for the HTL Cup Series, so paying his respects here tonight with that ribbon on the hood of that car here as he battles David Wright for that 9th spot. Those two had an interesting battle at Richmond that got David Wright into the playoffs. And Wright's going to go through for the 9th position. Wright double dutying on these concrete tracks, ran at Bristol last night, finished on the podium, trying to do the same tonight. Currently up 4 spots, and immediately onto the back of Oberstadt and Edward Marshall as he charges forward.
Reynolds going the wrong way quickly here. We saw him in that top 5 battle just about a few laps ago. And I'll have to hold that far. It's the 41. Gets in contact with Marshall there. Hits the wall. That's going to be the first. And that's a collection for Donald Ray there. Piles in. And that's going to be our first caution of the night here. 3 cars involved.
Yeah, Marshall was sort of just kind of pinned up there. Oberstadt in the middle, and David Wright was trying to pick his way through lap traffic. I believe Stephen Oberstadt may have been who they were trying to get a hold of there.
God, he almost hit Tommy Reynolds there too. He's just trying to, he's stuck on the kind of the apron in a weird spot. He's trying to get it going, but with it being so short, it's just hard to get it spun around because the time he gets it turned around, the cars are already back caught up. So he'll get it fired this time. That 41 looking quite damaged.
So first caution of the night. Here's what happened, and we're going to have to kind of zoom out a little bit here to get a good look at it. Again, you see there's the 3 of Oberstadt. And you see Oberstadt's going to try to go to the middle, but David Wright's already there. David Wright's able to hold it to the bottom, but Oberstadt bounces off of him. And Edward Marshall had kind of regained a little bit of momentum there. So that hold closed too. And there's Tommy Reynolds getting to the inside.
Yeah, just skinning the cat there. You see Donald Ray, he was already setting high side, and there was nothing he could have done at that point. Like, he had to just kind of hope that maybe he was going to go low, and it was just kind of too little too late. And you see right there, almost Wanzen gets touched by the 41 there.
On board with Donald Ray. Not going to be a pleasant sight for that 50 car.
Yeah, bad to worse. It's going to be in about a few seconds here. So Proudfoot, obviously, teammate gets ahead. He's going high, and I think he thought the 41 was going to try to drift down there, and he bet wrong, and ends up just clobbering the 41 door side. Back live action, you can see the 41 obviously hits the pit lane here, obviously, to fix the car up. Obviously, fast repair here.
Not
Few
a
cars
lot of
elected
leaders.
Staying out.
Yeah.
Was about to say a few cars did elect to come in here. Tommy Reynolds, for instance, he came in. Tom
Reynolds.
Sears came in.
Yeah, Reynolds the only one on the lead lap though that came in.
Obviously, I don't hate the call from Sears. He's obviously 2 down at the moment. So it's kind of an interesting strat here. He wants the fresh tires. Maybe he can drive his way up. Maybe he can then stay out a little bit longer at the end of the first stage. And then maybe get a quick caution to get on the lucky dog. He's trying a different strategy to get back. So we'll see if it works out for him. Reynolds obviously was falling. So the fresh tires are definitely going to help him out here. Get himself back up to get some stage points here. So choose an effect here. Marshall and Wanzing both going to stay on the high side here. So the inside row is going to be occupied by the 21 of Kevin Feemster. They'll make up row number 1. Row 2 is going to be Seth Wanzing and Brandon Featherplace. Row 3, Emma Kruger, Josh Gaiman. Row 4, David Wright, Edward Marshall. Row 5, Matthew Leiter and Ryan Pennell. So obviously, outside line feels prevailing right now for a lot of those cars in that top 3 positions. We saw a lot of them want to stay on the high side, while a few gamblers took the low side to see what they can get out of it. So we'll see if it plays off. Pace car going to come on in. Green flag is out, and away we go. And Feemster did not get going. And we have a quick caution right away. It looks like Matthew Leiter, 22 of Proudfoot, is around. Looks like 3 cars slow there with the 83, the 4, and the 22. Looks like all 3 may have had a piece of this in some way, shape, or form. So we'll take a look at the replay here. Oh, Leiter. Oh. Very odd. Kind of got a little slow there. Maybe thought he was clear. Proudfoot was not the case. Just kind of really slows down there. Slow it down here. So right now at the moment, he's clear of the 22. Well, almost. You can see the 22 gets a bit of a run. And he starts drifting up, not knowing he's there. And then netcode then kind of hooks him a little bit into the wall there. Obviously, they would have collided at the right, but netcode. And then Mongol kind of clips the wall. Actually, that wasn't Mongol. That was a car ahead of Mongol. Mongol just piles in at the end there. So, been a rough playoffs for Matthew Leiter. Had some problems at Darlington. Had some problems last week, Kansas. And now kind of add on to it. Having some problems here tonight for being right now the last driver in at the moment. Does not want to have constant mistakes here because it could lead to his destruction with other cars right now like Emma Kruger and Ryan Pennell, first 2 cars out, currently sitting 7th and 8th respectively, looking to get stage points here at the stage. Stefan Oberstadt will get the lucky dog here, so he will now be on the lead lap, giving us at the moment 13 cars on the lead lap. Obviously, depending on if they have longer pit stops, it could put Mongold, Proudfoot, or Leiter a lap down. But with Mongold currently heading on out right now as we speak, see what the other 2 do. But it looks like they're electing to fix their damage. They do not think the cars are worthy of the fast repair, and they both will leave their box right now as we speak. So both will head out and both will stay on the lead lap.
One thing of note, it looks like there's a connection failure for Tommy Reynolds.
Oh.
Obviously, he's already locked in by points, but
I mean, it's a good time to have it now than during a more crucial race. So we're going to come up to the choose here. Obviously, Michelle Wanzing elect to take high side. Will they follow suit this time again? They will. Feemster will actually follow suit this time. Not feeling confident on the low side after the last time. Josh Gaiman, though, will take the chance here, go low, So a bit of a switch of fortune there. Feemster, the third place car last time, Feemster went low. Now he likes to go hot. The third place car now likes to go instead of Gaiman. So it's going to be Michelle Gaiman, Wanzing, Feather Place, Kevin Feemster, Emma Kruger, Edward Marshall, David Wright, Ryan Pennell, Austin Mongol. They will be your first 5 rows here. So we're coming to lap 49.
Stage break on lap 60, so it's going to be a little bit of a sprint for some stage points.
60, 120, then to finish at 250. Green flag is out. Away we go. Gaiman times it a little bit better there than Feemster did last time. Did not stack up that inside line as much. But still, cannot just get a run there. He's going to have to slot in the third here, right between Wanzing and Feemster. So, was able to keep third, but look at Feather Place go on that inside. Trying something, but he's going to end up being the biggest loser here. So he's going to fall almost to the tail end. I was about to say there, this little pack, but he'll actually hold on and get sliding right between the 21 and the 70 if he so chooses.
Edward Marshall just tied the wall there, battling with David Wright for the 7th position. Edward Marshall fell back really badly in the run early. Ryan Pennell going to try to get around him as well. Get some extra stage points in this process. Marshall qualified really well. Not sure where that pace has gone in this race.
We've seen it countless times throughout different series with countless of drivers have good qualifying pace, but just not managing their stuff that well. And I think Edward Marshall maybe just didn't manage the stuff as well as other drivers. We saw that with Tommy Reynolds as well. He qualified okay, got the car up to 5th position, and then just started sinking like a stone. So tire wear may be a bit of a problem for that 16 at the moment, and just wants again that fresh rubber. Active Blighter also fighting for an all-important stage point or 2 right now. So again, he is the cut line, and the cars below the line right now are 8th and 6th respectively. You don't want to leave it up to chance here and get it. Don't want to leave points on the table. Oh, we have an incident up front here. 61 around, 21 of Feemster. David Wright also involved. I saw Feather Place and Gaiman were fighting there. I don't think they may have came to blows, but I saw it. I was about to jump back, and the point I did, 61 was already sideways.
This looks like bounce off the wall here for Josh Gaiman.
Yeah, you can see this is about for second.
Yeah, he just bounces off right in front of Feemster.
Emma Kruger avoids it barely. David Wright not so lucky. Wright got off the best of the 3 there. Should be worth noting that was not the end of the stage. Should be able to get.
I would be surprised if it's not the end of the stage, because I don't think we're going to get.
I agree with you, but from what I heard, they said right now it may not be the end of the stage. So just relaying what I'm hearing.
So you have lap cars, so it's going to be 5 laps of caution.
Yeah.
And we were coming 256.
So yeah, well again, just relaying what I heard. I do think you're right here, Carmen. I don't think they're going to get back for the stage end, but we shall see.
Either that or we're going to have 1 to go on the stage, which always goes well.
Seen it a couple times, so A Squared's not afraid to run the 1 to go here. But with how detrimental that inside line is, but if it's only 1 lap though, it's going to be interesting who rolls the dice. Looks like the other drivers are admitting they are not going to make it as well, so it looks like that probably will be the end of the stage here. Oh, we're getting shoes, so we are getting a 1-lap shootout here. So it will be a 1-lap shootout for the end of the stage here. Just heard from Control, so choose is going to happen right here. Now the question is, we saw that low line doesn't get as going on the first lap. Being such a short lap, who's going to be daring enough to try it? Looks like Feather Place is going to take the chance here, along with David Wright and Josh Gaiman. So it's going to be Feather Place, Marshall, row. Feather Place, Marshall, Feather Place, Michelle, row 1. Wanzing, Wright, row 2. Kruger, Gaiman, row 3. Ryan Pennell, Matthew Leiter, row 4. Edward Marshall, and Stefan Overstat first 5 rows here. So Pace's going to come in for the 1-lap shootout. Green is out, and away we go. See that inside line already get a bit bogged down. 15 seconds to the end of the stage. Who will get what? As they come off 3 and 4 here, Michelle is going to win the stage. Wansing second, Feather place third, Kruger fourth, David Wright will get fifth, Gaiman sixth, Ryan Pennell seventh, Kevin Feemster eighth, Matthew Leiter ninth, and Edward Marshall 10th. So that's going to end the stage. And pit stops should be happening quickly here. Well, at least on the bright side, at the very least, though, we've seen a lot of, throughout our time covering the State Square Cup Series this calendar year, we've seen a couple one-lap shootouts, and the past 2 have been relatively clean, so it's good to see at least the front. Usually they can be a bit chaotic, but it looks like it will work out quite nice tonight. At least, unless we get another one, then who knows? We'll have to see on the dice for all that. Alfred George will get his lap back. He will now be on lead lap. Should be worth noting, Kevin Feemster electing to stay out. So Austin Moncold and Tom Sears will not be able to get the wave around at the moment. The rest of the cars electing to come on in. So Choose is going to be next time by.
We're out of here. Take a look at the points currently as they run after stage 1. No shouts. It takes Reynolds to the top of the standings with those stage points. No change really at the bottom of the stage, minus the David Wright getting around Tommy Withers, who's not present tonight. Everyone else staying pretty well where they were. The gap's closing in.
Yes, and obviously final points definitely help pay out, but a little bit of stage points will help. Emma Kruger and Ryan Pennell in their chase to get up. Stefan Oberstadt was able to get, I believe, 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. So he will obviously get 1 too, but again, we'll see how it all goes here. But this is just early preliminative data. But that will be your little first stage update here. We'll give you one more, obviously, when stage 2 ends at 120. But right now, that's how it goes. So it's going to be Feemster, Wansing, Feemster on old tires here. Then Michelle, Kruger, Oberstadt, Featherplace, Patrick Oberstadt, Ryan Pennell, Matthew Leiter, Gaiman, and Stefan Oberstadt. Your first 5 rows here. Pace car gonna come on off. Green flag is out, and away we go.
Martin the wall. Marshall.
Yep. Ooh, you're right. And that will trigger the caution. Looks like he may have... Austin Mongold looks like he's been involved as well. Yes, he was, or at least slowed down for it. So we'll take a look at the replay here.
I believe we're going to look at focusing on Steven Oberstadt in this situation. Oh, just a little bit looser, but Marshall throws Oberstadt off. Sears involved, Marshall involved. Oh, who was that plowed in? Was that David Wright?
It looked like he was slow there in the back, but it doesn't look like he's got much damage. Take a look here again. This is David Wright. Yeah, David Wright's even saying he didn't see what happened. He just said he plowed in. So I think we're going to see what happens here. Yep.
Huge impact there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he had no clue there on the high side there. Take one more look here again.
Yeah, Marshall just gets loose. He's been battling handling all night. Bounces off that 3 car. And Oberstadt, with how that contact was, would not be surprised that was right to the right front of that car.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Mongol stayed out of it for the most part, but did a little half spin for his troubles there.
Problem was he was the lucky dog, was going to be it. So in turn, that should take him out of contention for that. Still shocked Kevin Feams for selecting to stay out here. Well, actually, he put on 57. It's my mistake. So he's actually not that bad in stint. So my bad on this front. So he's only a slightly disadvantage. Only a few cars like to come in. Edward Marshall, Brandon Proudfoot, Austin Mongol, Tom Sears, Stefan Oberstadt, all coming on in. So we're going to see the choose here. So it looks like it's going to be Feemster and Wanzing, row number 1 here. Michelle and Kruger, row 2. Oberstadt and Featherplace, row 3. Ryan Pennell and Matthew Leiter, row 4. Josh Gaiman and Alfred George will be your first 5 rows here. 13 cars on the lead lap. Austin Mongol, Tom Sears, Stefan Oberstadt, Tommy Reynolds, still laps down. Tommy Reynolds and Donald Ray out of this race. So 16 cars still running, 13 on the lead lap. Pace car going to come on in here. It's going to be on Feemster's control. Green is out and away we go. It looks like Ryan Pennell did not get going in the back there. So that outside line a bit disjointed, I should say. Brunell's kind of following through. Michello gets a good time in there. He'll slot in second. Wan's in third. Kruger fourth. Patrick Oberstadt, your top 5. We know Michelle's got a mad fast 25 here. We saw it in the first stage. Obviously feeling a little bit scored what happened at Kansas last week. Not any incident he had, but on the last second rear checker to 3 attempts, wants to get a redeemed win here. But Kruger goes sideways in the back. She will back down and hit the wall hard. Featherplace also spun it around as well. So a handful of cars there involved. And I think the caution was called for something else.
Yes, it was called for something else. We're going to see if we can pivot to it.
Yeah.
It was for this, between Marshall and Proudfoot, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it was called for. Oh.
Yeah. Similar to what happened on the front stretch.
That was between Marshall and Proudfoot, and then on the outside of the track, they did the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. But with a little less contact.
Hey, oh, Emma Kruger just loses on her own.
And so did
And then
Featherplace.
Proudfoot. Yeah, Featherplace, yeah. Kruger gets kind of the worst tap there, hits the inside wall. So Mongol will get his lap back here. He will now be on the lead lap. Looks like Sears maybe had some damage, or he's called it a night. Currently still stationary on pit lane. Luckily, Sears should have enough points. He should be through. It's not his race tonight.
I put Marshall on pit lane right now.
So choose is going to happen this time by here. Again, those who are joining us, thank you for joining us here on your Sunday night for this A Squared Cup Series playoff eliminator race. We will find out. We set for the field to the round of 12 here. Lap 81 in stage, lap 81 laps complete of 250 in the middle of stage number 2 here. Choose just in effect here. Michelle and Wanzing will make up the front row here. Kevin Feemster and Matthew Leiter will be row number 2. Stefan Overstat, Joshua Gaiman will be row number 3. Ryan Pinnell, David Wright, row 4. And Brandon Proudfoot and Brandon Featherplace will be your first, we'll finish out the first 5 rows here. 14 cars on the lead lap. Stefan Overstat, only car still running that is currently on the lap down train. His car going to pull off here. And away we go. Michelle back up front where he's been most of the night. He's looking to make that, keep that the same way as Wanzing will slot in the second. Feemster will slot in the third. He's either getting a little bit racy there for 4th position there between Patrick Oberstadt and Matthew Leiter. There's Josh Gaiman as well. Again, we're still ways away from the stage. Stage is 120, but some of these drivers definitely needing points. Matthew Leiter, Kevin Feemster, Ryan Pinnell, currently still on the outside. Points matter to these drivers and not wanting to cough up a lot in buckets.
Couple of back-to-back cautions have really kind of bunched everything up, but now we're finally getting some laps in before the second stage ends on lap 120.
Yep. If you want to see some good green flag running, these drivers succeed when we have some green flag running. Only car probably not happy with a lot of green flag running would be the 3, who's currently 4 down, but everyone else wants to get a little green flag running in. Pacing can always be a tad boring. Gaiman trying to get around Leiter, just kind of hanging on his inside.
Yeah,
trying to get the run here.
Leiter's crumbling under that pressure right now, getting really loose on the exits of 2 and 4, especially on the exit of 4.
Still doing enough right now to keep it ahead, but because Gaiman just can't get that run off. This is what I was talking about kind of in a pre-race. It's short track kind of troubles where you can put your car in the right spot and kind of just hang. It's going to be a big task for that car on the inside to really try to get around you unless they got the pace advantage or you make mistakes. So as long as the A3 can do enough, he should be able to hang on here, but that 61 is chipping. And in turn, kind of that slower pace at A3 is allowing the 12 and the 22 to catch up here. Looks like Edward Marshall's a bit slow in 1. Looks like his night may be done. Edward Marshall, yeah, he's crashed and jumped to the pit lane, so it is night done for the 16, or at least in the short term here, he'll go a couple down. 61, though, finally going to chip away enough. Still can't clear, though, but he should be able to clear this time by. And he will now officially take 5th position. Matthew Leiter going to fall down to 6, and now going to have a little bit of pressure because that battling has allowed the 12 and the 22, both Presidential Race Machine cars, kind of catch on up. Speaking to 12, currently on the outside looking in right now, Ryan Pinnell. And that's one of his main rivals right there, and that Trevor Project machine car right ahead. Just wants to get around, but just keeps running his race here. He should be able to at least chip away at it. Speaking of presidential racing, they are having a good race right now. Feemster in 3rd, Ryan Pinnell in 7th, Brandon Brownfoot in 8th, Alfred George on the lead lap in 13th. So they are having a pretty good run here. So it's good to see that team kind of get things going. There's the battle box just showing the battle for 4th here. Looks like finally the 12 is going to have the run as we see Carmen pan the camera over to now the rear side. And you can just see he's already clear. And Proudfoot going to fall suit. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 special here. And the loser is going to be Matthew Leiter, as he's now down to 8th position. But at least he'll have a little bit of time for David Wright, and that big pack can catch him. So if he can kind of get himself re-gripped, get himself cooled down, he should be able to get geared back up. But looking at the screen there for a second, you see Ryan Pinnell. That's finished came the guy's only podium here at 3rd at Bristol Dirt, so Bristol, no shame to him. So we'll cut back here to David Wright, though, who's in his own little battle for himself right now. He's currently just where the line is for points in the stage. 10th right now, Austin Mongold, Emma Kruger right there, making that 42's life a living pain of misery. Emma Kruger there in the 70, was running in top 5, needs the points here, needs to get in the top 10. Has finished a second 3 times, all coming at road courses, or most of the road courses in A-square competition. She's going to get low here. Got ahead of Austin Mongold. Now going to be the next car here to attack. You see just up the road there, there's the 9th place car, Brandon Featherplace. And 8th place too, so that far up the road, they can keep her nose to the grindstone. She could be able to catch back up. Being patient is a virtue here. Just keep the pain on the inside, getting a little aggressive. They're almost running the 42 up the road here, trying to aggressively side draft to get the run she needs, and she will clear the 42. Now Austin Mongold going to take advantage here. And Wright goes up a little bit up the road there. You can just see right there, battle for 8th position just up the road between Featherplace and Leiter. Featherplace will get 8th from Leiter. Leiter will fall down to 9th. And Leiter going the wrong way quickly. Needing to find a way to stop the buck. Look to see where we got some battles here. We do got a few brewing here. We got the 41, 61, 12, and 22. They're kind of caught in a little bit of a cluster here. As we do actually cut to it, Gaiman, Oberstadt, Gaiman, Pinnell, and Proudfoot all on this little train. And you can just see what we saw in that battle with Leiter, for instance, with Gaiman. If you chip away in a battle enough, you're going to kind of just drag everyone back. And here's that position for 2nd here. Teams are kind of telling Wanzing, hey, run your race, run your race. Feimster, not too comfortably above the line. He was coming into the night currently 10th, but again, looking good at the very least to get some good points here. Back to the back here in the battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's heating up a bit more. Leiter has fallen past Emma Kruger, David Wright, and it looks like Edward Marshall, even though he is not for position, Edward Marshall, he's 4 down. But this is battle for basically a point here, a point or 2 in the stage. Right now, that's 2 for Kruger, 1 for Wright, but Wright going to have a lunge here.
Yeah, this is important because right now Leiter scored nothing in stage 1. I do believe.
No, Leiter got 2 points in stage 1.
2 points, yeah. So
yeah,
not a great run so far for Leiter. Yeah, Leiter finished 9th. Right now he's be scoring nothing, whereas Kruger would be scoring in both stages, as well as Ryan Pinnell, who's having a really good stage right now.
The one saving grace Leiter has at the moment is the deficit he had over Emma Kruger, which is 7, but that got cut down quite quickly, and at least on my point scoring, it's only a 2-point swing between Leiter and Kruger right now. So that could be all the crucial. At the very least, Leiter's saving grace. Withers isn't here, and Stefan Oberstadt's having kind of a poor run here. Currently 14th, 5 down. He's actually batting Edward Marshall on track, so that could be another spot lost for that 3 car, but luckily, unless we see some cars rack out, that's the worst that 3 is going to fall, is 15th at the moment, unless he does end up wrecking out. It's back up to the battle here. We got the 41, the 12. Oh, we got a bit of a incident there. Proudfoot, Featherplace clips the wall there. Proudfoot gets a little loose. He'll save it. We stay clean. We stay green. The stage is about to come to an end here. Looks like Proudfoot's kind of saying, my bad for what happened there. He may be a little bit thing, but just up the road, Wansing and Gaiman fighting as well. Feimster obviously got the 2nd. Now Gaiman looking to make it a 3rd as he's side by side with the 9. Looks like he actually got clear. So Wansing kind of struggling with long run pace here. Hopefully just trying to stay. He's got the win, so he doesn't have to worry per se about stage points, but he obviously doesn't want to fall more and more back and hurt himself when the pit stop window opens up in 2 laps time. Red place gets around Proudfoot. As you can see right there on our screen of action.
Last lap of the stage. Danny Michelle coming to the checkered flag in stage number 2.
Actually, I don't know if it is, because they didn't close the pit lane, so the stage break is not at 120.
Maybe at 125, then give me a second to check. No, 150.
150, all right, so we got a little bit more time. Usually they do half and half, so we figured it was 120, but it looks like it was 150. So, got another 26 laps to stage, so Seth Wansing maybe in a bit of trouble here, as he is getting hounded by the pack here. As you can see right there, Featherplace already up back to 5th. Patrick Oberstadt in 6th, and it is just a train of cars here. As multiple have joined the fray, including even David Wright there. He is caught up. Emma Kruger, though, kind of the only one in 9th or now not close to the party here. Oberstadt clips the wall there. He's going to let a bunch of cars go here. He's going to fall down the 9th just like that. John Smith in the chat asking what it's going right now in stages and what the points. So obviously stage is going to end at 150. We just kind of relayed that. Points right now as they run at the very least. Leiter, Oberstadt, Feimster, Wright, Withers all still in at the moment. Ryan Pinnell and Emma Kruger currently the first 2 out of the round of 16 right now at the moment. But obviously that can change. Ryan Pinnell having a good run. If he can hold that spot, he should be able to leap his way into the 12, top 12 on stage points alone, and just has to finish strong. But right now at the moment, it's still Ryan Pinnell and Emma Kruger, who started the broadcast outside the top 12, still outside the top 12 at the moment. There's Elvis George trying to, currently 1 down at the moment, just trying to be not too much of a pest here. He is racing, actually no one in that pack. He was racing, I believe. Actually, there was no one in that pack he was racing, my mistake. So just holding strong here and trying to get himself in a Lucky Ducks position or a wave round position.
See Kruger getting around Oberstadt there. As for 9th place, some extra stage points going on there. Battle for 3rd between Game and Fed Place and Wright as they navigate. Austin Mongold. Another lap car there. That is Edward Marshall in the front of David Wright.
Ooh, almost came up in front of David Wright.
Yeah, lap cars are being extra difficult to get around tonight. Austin Mongold struggling. Edward Marshall struggling after starting on the front row. It's not been a great day so far for a couple of these drivers. As speaking of the battle right now, David Wright, tire whisperer in this series, gonna go 2 for 1 to 3rd place.
Remember, he just hit that wall there, though. But remember, he was in a spot where he T-boned that car during last caution, got it fixed up, and has found some pace, or he's, again, got that tire whisperer card activated, that trait activated, if you will. He's now up to 3rd here, 7 seconds behind the leader, three back on Kevin Feemster, but he has carved his way up for the field. Up 10 spots from where he started. Biggest mover of the race, biggest loser of the race is Edward Marshall, down 12 from where he started. So yeah. David Wright taking no prisoners here. And as we saw at Richmond, he was good at Richmond on the short track. He was able to find that pace. So it looks like he's got short tracks really seem to be in his wheelhouse for the 2-time winner this season.
Definitely makes him a threat. Yeah, he's got the ability to save tire like very few do right now. We saw it last night in the Saturday Night Showdown series at Dover, another concrete oval where tire life is critical. He was chasing down Aiden Norman there at the end of that race last night. And he's doing it again right here, trying to chase down Michelle and Feemster, and doing so in that process. Has already shaved a second off of Feemster. Now he's out and clear. That gap was almost 2.8. It's now 1.8. I don't know if he's going to get there in time, but with 100 laps in stage 3, David Wright is a 100% legitimate threat to win this race right now, especially with that longevity that he's got right now. Nobody's touching it. He is the fastest on track, and it really isn't even close by almost 3/10.
Yeah,
he is gaining that on the race leader. Every single lap, he's already cut the gap down from over 7 seconds to less than 6. With 12 laps to go.
He will catch Kevin Feemster at the rate he's going. He should be able to get there within the 11 laps. Again, passing and getting are two different things, but he will catch Feemster. And now having the track position, we do see a slow car. That's Stefan Oberstadt. Actually, he was not on the battle you were watching. I was checking up on Game in that situation.
Yeah, Oberstadt coming up a bit late.
Yeah, for service. But back to the point, though. The thing is now he'll have the track position. He had to come from the back to the front here, all stage 2. So now he'll be in 3rd position, and he can, if he keeps that position during the pit stop window or what have you, he should be able to at least make it close here. We'll cut back here for the battle for that's Seth Wansing, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th respectively on track. Ryan Pinnell, Seth Wansing fighting for 6th. Again, all points matter here.
Keep an eye on Kruger, who's been saving a little bit of tire life here in that 70 car. Has closed in on this battle, getting around Proudfoot, who's not a playoff driver. Trying to get around a couple playoff drivers themselves, and Ryan Pinnell, who gets a little loose there at 4. For on that outside lane. Gonna make some make up some stage points right now. If she can do that at the end of stage number 2. If we get to 146 and the caution comes out, the stage is over.
Correct.
But we have to get to 146. If we have a caution 145, we've seen they'll do a 1-lap shootout to end the stage. Kruger gets around for 7th place, chasing down Wansing. Would love some 5 stage points, knowing right now that our biggest competition, Matthew Leiter, out of the points altogether right now, along with Tommy Withers, who is not present tonight. A really good chance for somebody outside that line to get in, especially with some performances like what we're seeing tonight. It's a matter of if it's going to be Pinnell or Kruger or both. Kruger to the inside, making the inside work a little bit for side by side with the 2-time series champion, who's already locked in, having won last week at home at Kansas. Side by side. Phenomenal stuff here right now. Staying side by side as they battle it out. Less than 5 to go. A caution now would end the stage.
Oh, looks like 83 had something with Oberstadt. He is slow.
Very slow. Oh, a lap down levels of slow here, trying to get back on track. And will be right in front of this battle for 6th.
Yeah.
With 3 to go.
Steppen Oberstadt, Method had something on track. And yeah. Going to catch this here. Irregardless of that, though, 2 drivers obviously on the bubble. Pit lane has now closed, so we are going to see the end of the stage one way or the other in 2 laps. Well, again, Kruger knowing 1 point could make a difference here.
It really could.
How aggressive will she be? But obviously, if she's too aggressive, may cough up points to Ryan Pennell. So risk reward here.
And right now, Leiter's not the first car a lap down. Patrick Oberstadt is. Coming to the end of the stage. She's going to send it through turns 3 and 4, but it will not matter.
Well,
Daniel
actually,
Michel is right there.
Yeah, no, Kruger got it because of where the line hits. So Kruger's send works. So she will get a spot.
Wow.
I saw her cross the line ahead, but looks like Wanzing is actually scored ahead here when they timed the caution, so it may have went to Wanzing instead. So irregardless, still good effort there from that 70. So it looks like it was Michelle. Wright actually got around Feemster, so Wright gets second. Then it's Feemster, Feather plays, Gaiman, Wanzing, Kruger, Pennell, Proudfoot, Oberstadt.
Crazy stuff there. Yeah, it looks like Wanzing finishing 6th as everyone tries to get caught up to the pace car here. Magic pit stops would be happening pretty much en masse.
No one's going to stay out here.
Yeah, Kruger staying behind this 9 of... Behind the 9 of Seth Wanzing. So we'll do a calculation here of the stage points real quick, so bear with us.
Yep. We're both doing that as we speak.
Michelle, another stage win.
Points for him.
Now, the difficult thing here is that Feemster scored 8 points in that stage. And he was 11th entering tonight in the points. So good points haul for him. Does make it a little bit more difficult for Pennell and Kruger.
He was 7 ahead of, but the thing is, he was a little bit ahead of Stefan Oberstadt in that regard. So at the very least, with Oberstadt having a poor day and Leiter having a poor day, it basically pulls Feemster out of the fire. But with Oberstadt only getting 1 point in both stages and Matthew Leiter only getting 2 points in both stages, while out getting scored by Ryan Pennell and McKruger by wide margins, no longer Feemster's, unless Feemster crashes out here, Feemster's no longer the target for both cars. If you're Ryan Pennell and Emma Kruger, you are chasing Leiter, Oberstadt, and Withers. Those are the 3 cars you're chasing to try to get yourself in. Wright, Feemster, both have kind of pulled themselves out of the fire, out of the danger zone. They're not locked in. If they have poor runs, they're not locked in yet, but these points are helping them out. So here's the now updated standings at the moment.
Yeah. And right now you see Leiter's dropped a spot to Feemster, had a really good run in the stage points. Leiter now 11th and fully stuck a lap down in this process. He is handicapped as far as how high he can climb up this field, and he's already out of fast repairs.
Yeah,
in this
and
race.
Look at that. And look at that. Ryan Pennell and McKruger, they are tied at the moment on points, and they are only 3 points behind Stefan Oberstadt. And
Stefan Oberstadt 15th in...
Yeah, and he can't fall anymore,
rough.
though. That's the thing. Unless someone crashes out, Oberstadt can't fall anymore.
Actually, he can fall one more time. Sears is still circulating.
He's circulating, but he's also 20 laps ahead, and his Oberstadt's also circulating as well. So unless Oberstadt crashes out, he can't really fall anymore. So
but
he's
don't say never, because Oberstadt's already been in a lot of trouble, and he's already burned his fast repair. That's why he's 10 laps down to begin with.
Correct. So, yeah, never say never on that. He can fall one more. If he stays circulating, though, he will stay 15th.
Really, realistically, what's going on here, right now, both of them would jump Oberstadt anyway. Because Oberstadt's 15th. Feemster and Kruger and Pennell are all in the top 10. That is critical right now.
And then, remember, Withers not here, so 66 is the line for him. So that's another point as well. So a lot of shake up here. Pace car going to come off, though. It's going to be Wanzing and Wright first row here. Then Proudfoot and Michelle. Kruger in the third row. Away we go with Feemster. And Wright gets a good launch here. And we've seen him make that tire whispering strat work. And now he is leading the point at the moment.
Ooh,
So
Michelle got a little bit loose there, trying to push through.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle pointing his way into the round of 12.
Wanzing, we know, was a good second fiddle car here, but we saw him really struggle on the long run. That was a bit of kryptonite for that 9. He lost touch, got caught. Michelle was just basically mad fast throughout most of this. And then Proudfoot's a bit of a question mark here. We know he's had the pace throughout week in and week out. Really just the question mark is we haven't really seen much of him in Bristol as much. He's had all right pace, but can he hang on with that fast duo of the Sunday Monday racing cars?
All right, now, realistically speaking, kind of answering a couple of the live questions here. Right now, the battle is between Kruger and Ryan Pinnell. One of them, theoretically, unless they get enough points, only one of them moves forward in the playoffs. And right now, it's Kruger, because Kruger's 6th, Pinnell's 10th.
Yeah. So for the viewers at home right now, whoever finishes higher between Kruger and Ryan Pinnell, in theory, puts themselves in the better spot to leap in. Now, obviously, if they both crash out here and finish 14th or 13th, they wouldn't do that.
There's an important distinction from this as well, because Withers gets drop points.
Yes.
So that's an extra 10 points. So that kicks it down the road a little bit. That's something that had not been featured in our graphic to this point, is that Withers technically is 2076 here. So Withers technically entered this race with more points than Tom Sears. Obviously, Sears in this race will score points, will be safe, but the margin that you have to score in this race is a lot higher. And obviously, looking at where everyone's at right now, they're tied at 2,052 points. They've got to score at least a minimum of 26 points to get to the end of this race, or really more than that to get above Withers. So only one of them's right now going to go through.
And then the last question mark really is Lighter in this regard. He had a little bit of a cushion, obviously over, currently still 11th. So if Lighter obviously looks like he'll be okay, but again, he can still fall more spots. Alfred George is currently 1 lap behind him. Mongold Marshall, they're 3 back on that. So if he gets in trouble, we saw him at the end of that stage get in a little trouble, and we presumably burned his faster pair, possibly at the very least that one since he was in. Maybe he didn't, maybe he did. But at the very least, he's got a bit of a question mark to him as well. If he falls, it could be enough points, especially if enough cars climb up to get in. And like I've hinted to before, the round of 12 favors both the 12 and the 70 of Emma Kruger. Emma Kruger obviously favoring, they got the road course circled, the Charlotte Roval, while Ryan Pinnell has Talladega circled as a track that he could use as well. And also, Ryan Pinnell took a drop round at Darlington. So,
yeah,
taking that hole, he kind of was in a little bit early. And if he can climb his way out of it with 2 races and a drop round, tip to the man in the number 12. But still, ways to go before we can really settle that. We got a lot of things to focus on. Tom Sears looks like he's a little slow on the apron there, but right now, you can see this battle here we're watching. Wright kind of currently in the top 5 at the moment. We know he's going to be fast on that long run, but he's got to stay close to this front-ish pack in order to make that work. And right now, he's getting swallowed by Wanzing, Feather Place, and looks like Feemster's going to follow suit too, so that 42 going the wrong way quickly. Ooh, Michelle clips the wall here. We got a battle for the leaders. Proudfoot going to get around. So Proudfoot going to take the lead here, try to close the door on the 25. Remember, 22 not fighting for points. He's trying to be a spoiler. And kind of the 25 clipping the wall, trying to get around the 16, is now put the 22 in the lead spot here. Now, obviously, the 25 not going to allow that to happen for too long here. He's going to want to get back around here. They got a 3-second gap to Emma Kruger, who's currently rocking in 3rd place. They are side by side. Oh, Michelle gets loose there again. Came up just a little bit too early there, clips the 22. And will now slot firmly in the second. So a bit of a mark in the armor, if you will. We've seen in Michelle kind of the first time in a while he's been kind of under attack here. Most of this race he's been leading or close to leading, and now he's got a bit of a challenge. All right there, Michelle gets a run on the 22. Just can't take it anywhere. And laps tick by here like lightning speed. You can get 4 laps in a minute, basically. So just trying to patiently chip it on that inside line. Michelle on corner panel. Just, again, just not getting that run. Oh, a bit of a checkup there. 25 could take it if he chooses. Oh, just hits him in the rear there. Again, Michelle feels confident on that high line. He knows it's his faster line here, but sometimes you got to go where they're not, and he just keeps kind of hitting the 22 here out of these corners because he gets the run, and then 22 just happens to be there. So 25 not going to abandon ship yet on that high groove, but it makes me wonder if he just may have to try something different or just kind of playing a bit of possum here. Not missing anything back. Emma Krug got a firm 3rd position right now at the moment over Steph Wanzing. And there goes Michelle. Finally had kind of a bit of enough here. Knows he can get the run, and he will clear the 22. So Michelle back up to the lead. Proudfoot back to 2nd. They are going to catch up on Stefan Oberstadt here. So they're going to catch a little lap traffic here. Yeah, Oberstadt is going to run the low line here and not cut off either driver.
Can't find him.
So, yeah, David Wright. I'm keep looking a little bit back here in the pack here. I'm kind of watching some battles here as we see Michelle kind of drive away here. Looks like Wright's kind of finding that pace a little bit in those tires right at the moment. He's currently slotted in 6th position. Looks like he's kind of finding his way towards the front here. But other than that, though, it's pretty much 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of holding station here. Kruger, Wanzing, Feemster, Wright, Oberstadt, kind of a bit of a, I'm gonna say Kruger's a little ahead here, but Wanzing kind of leads a bit of a train here. And everyone else close, but no cigar further back. But Michelle back up and has already gained 1.5 on Proudfoot, and he is smoothing away. So anyway, though, as the race, we're already basically tipped away here. Laps falling quickly here. We're going to be within, at lap 200, within 50 to go here. And Michelle is just pulling distance on this top pack here.
right, sorry about that technical delay here. Alrighty, coming to 50 laps to go. Looks like that issue is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now kind of breaking down the point situation as they currently run. Yeah, not a lot of drivers completely safe yet in this battle. Again, Fruger right now up to 3rd place, doing a phenomenal job at the moment, sitting behind Michelle and Proudfoot. However, 50 laps to go. A lot to have to try to hold on to that over these 50 laps. So far, probably her best showing on an oval as things currently stand. So a good run for her so far. As it sits right now, so far she's safe. Ryan Pinnell also would technically be safe based on potential tiebreakers here if things keep going as they are right now. He's in 10th, which is the minimum that he needs to be in right now. But an extra position would be a lot better. The only issue is that he's 4.5 behind Josh Gaiman. And if he goes a lap down, that does put him under threat of Matthew Leiter. So that could be a significant issue. Also, pit stops have to come in play as well. We would believe with 100 laps in this stage, that could mix things up in this race.
Yep, and that would be the money stop for a lot of these drivers here. One bad, again, with how short this track is, how laps can kind of go by quick. You have a speeding penalty. You make a mistake. You miss your box. What have you. It could really throw a monkey wrench in the plan, and you could really be in a bad spot here. Worth noting right now is keep an eye on David Wright here. He's now found his form here. He's carved his way up for this pack here. We saw at the end of stage number 2. He is gutting up, but yeah, mistake in pit lane here. One mistake could doom a season, and you do not want to do that. Yes, Emma Kruger's got a pack form behind her. She is actually caught Proudfoot, but big battle for second here. Big pack there. There you go. As the big pack here is forming. That is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All in this little gaggle here. And Stefan Oberstedt there on the low groove here. He's going to just kit out of the way, hopefully quickly here, because it is going to get racy. Yep, he'll pull down. Question is, who will dare get through? Oh, right, hard to the wall. He got hooked. Big into the wall there. Patrick Oberstedt, Kevin Feemster involved. That was violent.
That was a vicious impact there by David Wright. Head on into the wall in turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal. Goodness.
That is going to be the monkey wrench here.
I think it's more than the monkey wrench. It's the entire front of David Wright's car.
Mm-hmm.
That was extremely violent of a crash.
Yeah, he just... Well, she obviously get a replay of it, but you can just see he just... Oh. So here's the replay. You can see him wanting. You can see I was kind of going to make note. He was willing to take that low groove that no other car really was trying. Everyone was kind of grunchily staying high. And he was like, I'm going to try the low side here. And then see Wanzing running that middle groove. Then looks like the real estate's running out. Oh, I think he... Ooh. It looks like if he could have held a little longer, he would have cleared it. But then road just kind of ran out and got hooked on the front of Wanzing and then hits the wall big. Feemster, another driver who's on that not safe zone, he hits that inside wall. Patrick Oberstedt at 9th, fighting for a championship here. Only other car to get really a big lick in that regard. Just, oh. And it sucks too. David Wright was having a great run here.
That changes a lot. Matthew Leiter gets a lap back, so he's back on the lead lap. But crucially, and we've seen this happen so much before, cautions breed cautions when you put this field right back together with a lot of cars in it, and now drivers are a bit more aware of their point standings here.
Mm-hmm. Because you know for a fact that someone is probably listening in on this stream. We know a few drivers do listen to the stream. Feather Place, Wanzing. I don't think Wanzing does, but Feather Place. Well, Wanzing watches it later, but Feather Place I know listens in. So again, that information's getting relayed from what you're saying, Carmen. We are both saying, and that information's getting relayed to these drivers. And now they kind of know in the back of their mind that this is what we need to do. This is what we need is a situation and what we need to hang. So now, Michelle, obviously the rest of the cars that just stayed out there came on in lighter, right? Well, what was all the caution, but lighter, George, Mongold, Stefan Oberstadt, Marshall, Sears, all in on the second go around. So we're gonna get shoes here. Yep, David Wright has pulled behind the wall. That is race over for that 42. Already burned the fast pair on the first caution, and obviously that thing would have been a miracle if it could even left the blocks. But it's not. So now David Wright kind of in the waiting game situation. The lowest he can go, yeah, he can fall down the 16th position. So everyone, Sears, if he rides around enough, should be able to jump up one more spot. So David Wright is going to fall down to 16th.
Yeah.
Out of the running cars. That's also going to promote Oberstadt, Marshall, Sears up one. So Oberstadt's going to get a free spot here. He's already got around Marshall, and he's going to get that, so we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, Michelle Kruger, row 1. Proudfoot, Feather Place, row 2. Wanzing, row 3, along with Pinnell, who needs to get a little closer. Gaiman, Beers, next row, and George and Oberstadt, first 5 rows. A little bunched up there on that inside. But away we go again. See, Proudfoot want to take off where we saw that battle earlier. Proudfoot wants the lead here.
He's gonna get it.
Oh, he gets loose. He'll save it though.
He was the only one that got loose there. Kruger got loose as well, but kept it pretty much well contained.
Mm-hmm.
And now Proudfoot stuck on the bottom, not a place he wants to be in. Kruger takes second place.
Wanting takes third. Now Proudfoot's gonna slot in the 4th.
Maybe.
Now Feather Place
says, I'll take that from you too. Mm-hmm. But now the outside lane beginning to warm back up with Proudfoot there. Gonna make it a little bit more difficult for Feather Place.
Now you can see that light blue. Oh, there goes Proudfoot, almost in the Ryan Pinnell. Proudfoot and Gaiman and Alfred George involved. Ryan Pinnell skips through on the skid of his teeth along with Kevin Feemster. So 2 drivers on that line get through unharmed, but take a look here.
This is Proudfoot. Just gets loose on his own. Hard impact
Matthew
there.
Leiter almost blunts into the 61 a Gaiman as well. So,
I believe Austin Mongo will get free pass because Alfred George was involved in that.
Yes. Actually, it's either him or Leiter, because Leiter's one down currently in 10th.
Oh, maybe let's see if Leiter got the wall or not.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah, we'll see here in a second here. Yep, 83's cutting through, so it is going to be Leiter. So Leiter will now be on the lead lap, giving us 10 cars on the lead lap. So Leiter's kind of kept his head down here, had those incidences in stage 2, and now he's back on the lead lap. And when we get going green again, we're going to be just outside 25 to go.
I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time we see some fenders get crunched up here.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Kruger at the front of the field.
I know you, Carmen, are running into the live chat right now. Some of the situations right now for some drivers, but
my head is hurting. I have a migraine crunching these points. It is rough right now.
Look, I'll be honest. I love me crunching some numbers, but you're doing the work right now.
Yeah,
you have more of the numbers than I do.
So right now, kind of running it down while we've got time, and again, we'll show these points here as they currently run. This is where everything's currently at on the point standings. Michelle currently 1,129. Reynolds pretty well locked in here, 1,118. He's out of this race. Gaiman pretty well safe. Fetter Place pretty well safe. Roberts pretty well safe. Wanzing is in. David Wright came in. Is going to score a decent amount of points. He should be safe. Withers will, and we've calculated drop points out of this just out of precaution because it's very possible that he can still claim those stage points and then he really mess with things. So we're planning ahead for it. Right now he hasn't claimed those stage points or claimed that drop round. If he does, it's included. But right now, as it sits, we're going to say he has 2,076 points, and that's all he's going to score from this round. Sears is safe because he's going to score whatever 16th place points scores, so he'll jump above him anyway. Feemster is 14 points clear of Pennell and Kruger. He is 11 points clear of Oberstadt. Oberstadt in 13th, still in contention. It can potentially swing one way or the other if you want to go with the extremes, as we see Choose going on in the background there. So Feemster's not safe. He needs a top 10, needs to stay top 10 just to make sure that he's locked in. Otherwise, you start really dealing with crunching minute numbers there just to see if he's ahead of Oberstadt, if he's ahead of Leiter, if he's ahead of Pennell. Just stay top 10, he's fine. Leiter's in trouble, as things said. He's 10th. He is 100% in range of losing legitimately. Same with Oberstadt. Obviously, Breo and Pennell are already out of this race. So that can be a legitimate problem for some of these drivers here. And that's where it gets really difficult because you're going to see a lot of shuffling up and down at the end of this race. Green flag back in the air, and here we go.
It should be noting as more cars maybe bite the dust here within this 25 to go range here. That could open as Emma Kruger just blinked out for a second there. If she has a connection drop, that could be GG as well. But more cars that crash out, more cars have incidences that put them laps down. That could promote Oberstadt up enough a position or two, depending when it comes out. Now, obviously, if it comes out within like 5 to go, unless we get a lot of green flag, green white checkers, Oberstadt would be stuck in 13th. So, let's see how it all plays out. But like you said, minute details will decide as we just hit 25 to go. But right now, the one thing worth noting, the top two, Michelle and Wanzing, they don't have to worry about pointing their way in. Wanzing has to win last week at Kansas. Michelle's had good enough runs that he should be in the round of 12, regardless of all the stage points he's accumulated tonight. But we're getting a win with the good. We have another caution.
It's Leiter.
Matthew Leiter.
Not sure if anybody else was involved in that. Yellow flag came out. Kruger stays third.
Looks like it may have just been single car.
And it looks like that might be the case. Does he get loose? Yes, he does. And in front of the field, that's Oberstadt and Elrush George.
Yep.
He will gain a lap back here because he got clear of that and will be the free pass recipient.
Elrush George will get now 2 down.
Yeah.
They're going to have to let the pace car go here. That's why they are slow at the moment. So that's Leiter now has damage, and we know he probably... I don't know if he bred it faster in the opening caution.
He did.
He may have.
He definitely did.
So now he needs, if he's got any damage, it looked like a light hit, so it shouldn't be too damaged, but we know with engine hitting the engine front or hitting the front of it, you can always put enough damage on it that it sometimes can kill the horsepower. And we don't know how bad it's wounded right now, how much it can be fixed, but we know at the very least he's going to come on in and try to fix what he can. And right now he's just all hands on deck for some of these cars. It's like the ship's taking on water, and you got the crewman with buckets just trying to get the water out of the ship to try to stay afloat here.
And what would really put a wrench in this, and I'm throwing this out there because both the drivers we've been talking about as far as trying to make their way in, they are top 6 in this race right now. Kruger is 3rd. Ryan Pennell is 6th. If either of those two somehow get away with a race win, that puts Leiter in a significant problem.
Yes.
Because not only right now is he in 10th and in danger of potentially going a lap down again, if he's outscored by 10 points and the gap between 1st and 10th is more than 10 points, Leiter's out.
Yes.
That's a significant problem for Leiter right now. Like, that is a legit contending threat. Because first place is worth 40, second place is worth 35. So there's a 5-point jump right there. That is a rough go of it right now. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, right now, Leiter's best friend is those Sunday Monday racing cars in both 25 and the 9. 25's looking like he has pace to beat, but we saw that last week at Kansas. Had a very, very strong car, and then had that incident on one of the green-white checkers, and it just took him out of contention. If we see cautions, precautions, and he has a moment where maybe someone lines up and gets a little too close, it could put him in a spot where he loses positions. The next thing you know, Emma Kruger's had a top 5 car all night. She's been maybe the 3rd to 5th best car here all night, maybe even 2nd, depending on who you ask. And then you got Gaiman, who's been okay. Feather Place had some shocks of pace. Ryan Pennell's been not maybe top 5, but definitely has been in the top 5, top 10 range. Kevin Feemster was able to hang into a top 3. He's definitely got a strong 21. So if something were to happen at 25, I don't think there's a clear-cut number 2 that you would say, yes, they are the chance to win here. So we'll see the choose in effect here. Michelle, Kruger, row 1. Wanzing, Gaiman, row 2. Then row 3 is going to be Featherplace, Pinnell. Leiter.
Very interesting seeing Leiter in that position at the moment, but I guess, I mean, he's on the lead lap still, so I guess it counts.
Yeah, we tell him to hold spot, so I guess, because, yeah, everyone else behind him's a lap down or chose the outside, so very weird indeed, but Leiter,
find out with 19 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Green flag back in the air, and Wanzing didn't go.
No, he didn't.
That's huge for Kruger, who's got a reprieve.
Yep, gonna slot on in.
That is huge for Kruger. But now they're 3-1. Gaiman bounces up Kruger, and that's gonna be another caution.
Ryan Pinnell on the wall. Ryan Pinnell on the wall. Ryan Pinnell sideways. Leiter piles in, and that's the big one here at Bristol.
And that is problem for Ryan Pinnell.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that is significant damage to that 12 car that requires repair, as long as he's got a fast repair, he's good.
Yes.
But he cannot afford to go a lap down right now, because that is a slippery slope.
Yeah, because right now, Alfred George, I don't know if he was involved or not. We'll see how it all plays out. He would presumably get the lucky dog if he was clean. If not, Mongold. If not, Overstat. Regardless, that would put him in a spot where if he was one down, he'd be fighting Alfred George. Looks like the car's okay.
It's so sketchy, though. Like, obviously, if he has a fast repair, he's good. But if not, that rear of that car, that's minutes off the clock, and that's minutes he does not have this late in the race.
No. Even Emma Kruger tapped that wall a ton, and she, again, luckily, she got lucked out. She did not get hooked. She's thanking whatever high power up there that she did not get hooked the other direction, because how it looked like Gaiman was about to hook Kruger the other direction along with Gaiman, I should say, but luckily made it out. So we'll take a look at the replay here. You're just going to see.
And Wanzing tried this before, went to the middle. Gaiman gets loose, and then it fishtails.
Mm-hmm.
And then boink.
Right over.
That is 6 inches far forward from being a catastrophe for Kruger. And then Featherplace bodies Pinnell. Pinnell gets a little bit more on that rear of that car for good measure. Gaiman gets clobbered by Feemster, by Oberstadt. There's Marshall, who's already got the rear of that car locked up. Sears clobbers in for good measure. Looks like a little piece of damage there for the 22 of Proudfoot.
And then there's Mongold. Alfred George did get the lucky dog, by the way, so he is one down. So if 12, he is not running a fast repair. Well, maybe he's taking 4 tires. We'll see here in about a few seconds here if he does or doesn't. See if he drives away.
He's taking fast repair, 14.7.
Yep, so he took a fast repair. So he does not have one left. Gaiman presumably took one as well. And Feemster may have just came in for 4 tires. So, oh boy, 15 to go. He's now 10th. We just said the line he needed to be was 9th. And now Leiter's in 7th. So
it's flipped upside down on its head a decent amount, hasn't it?
Yes.
And now this is good for Leiter, because right now Leiter stays above that line unless Kruger wins. If Kruger wins, that's significant problems, because then it really throws it under in for a loop.
Yeah.
But theoretically right now, Leiter should be safe. I don't think he can lose enough to be behind. You'd have to be behind Sears, and I don't think that's going to happen with 14 to go. No, so I want to say that Leiter's safe. But if for some reason Ryan Pinnell and Emma Kruger both end up in the top 3, and Leiter ends up outside the top 10, different conversation. Like, there's a lot of different mathematics that's involved, a lot of different scenarios that you have to sort of get ready for in your head, because it is Bristol. Anything and everything has happened before. Ryan Pinnell's finished on podium here before on both the concrete and the dirt. Emma Kruger, defying the odds, has never finished on the podium here, trying to start off that trend tonight. Lights are off on the pace car.
And there's still a chance, if a car, let's say, crashes out here with 13 to go, with green, white, checker laps and pace laps and all of that, there's still a chance that a car could fall below Sears and Marshall, 31 and 32 respective now. Likelihood's not high, because with how short laps are, likelihood of getting back-to-back green, white checkers is not high, but still a possibility. So that's another plan in the works here. But it's Michelle, Kruger, Wanzing, Featherplace, Oberstadt, Leiter, Proudfoot, Feemster, Pinnell, Gaiman. That's your top 10. And away we go again. Wanting gets a better launch here.
Way better launch. Kruger's got the inside lane, though, and had a pretty decent launch. He's got
21 a Feemster. He's sideways. And he's stopped, but he didn't get hit by anything.
And he's going to get rolling in time.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to get right there to him. Wanzing to second. Kruger gets back up there. Third place for the 70. Doing good so far. Ryan Pinnell back up into the top 8. Oh, Leiter got loose.
That's going to be 7th, and Gaiman's going to slot in here another spot. Feemster would be 10, though.
Oh,
and right now,
in the wall.
Proudfoot.
Trouble for Marshall. Marshall, trouble in the back. Marshall and Oberstadt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just a little tap there.
So that is not what anybody wanted to see, unless maybe Kevin Feemster.
Yeah. Looks like maybe something happened between the 3 and the 16.
I think actually Feemster stayed on the lead lap, so Elris George should get the lap back here and be on the lead lap, which is a disaster.
Oh, that's another car that could make things
another
interesting.
wrinkle in the game plan here. What happened to Everett Marshall and Company?
It's another wrinkle on the pug. So look here again.
Oh, he just gets really loose there and just can't save it. And that's a huge impact there for both him and Oberstadt. And Oberstadt's chances at moving on just evaporated in that hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is going to be curtains for the 3. So he's going to join the graveyard with the
Breo and Purnell.
Yeah, I was going to go with the numbers, but Breo's 74 and Austin Purnell's 22. Not 22.
32.
32. Yeah. So he'll join the 74 and 32 in the graveyard.
One more car joining them. Who's it going to be?
Spin the wheel. Let's find out.
I'm tired of spinning the wheels. I've been spinning wheels for 48 hours. Michelle leads over Wanzing.
Leiter just came in.
Yeah.
Came in for presumably tires. If he has a set left, obviously wants to have a chance here in this long run. Doesn't want to fall below, so he's like, look, if you got it, smoke him if you got him. He has the tires, so he's going to take them.
He's getting repairs.
Oh, he is. So that car may not be 100% too. Alfred George comes in along with Austin Mongold.
Howard Short is the free pass recipient on the lead lap again. So he'll start at the back of the field, but with time left, an extra caution would help him out significantly. Is Leiter? Yeah, Leiter's coming out pit lane now.
Yeah.
So, but he was waiting for the pace car to get out of turn 4, so he's still got damage on that car beyond what he just fixed.
Yeah.
That is a problem if you're Matthew Leiter.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means that car is not okay.
So, yeah. Again, he's just got to get a couple spots, but he's got fresh tires, and he's got some more natural pace in that car than a few of the cars ahead of him, but with that thing's wounded, let's see how it plays out. Should also be remembering Josh Gaiman's using tilt controls. But anyway, Shoes is going to be happy this time by. Michelle, obviously, going to go outside. He's picked the outside line all night. I assume Wanzig will follow suit here. He could go low, though, if he thinks his best chance of winning this race is on the low side.
I think it'd be foolish to go low side. Kruger will go low. Fetter Place goes low. Patrick Oberstadt went high.
And Ryan Pinnell would be the 3rd car on the low side.
Oh, yeah, let's just roll the dice all in the same location. Cool. Let's make my life more miserable, because now that inside line is very critical. Oh, yeah. Dear. And that's not the line that gets a good start.
No, it doesn't. Ryan Pinnell just taking a chance here. This is basically throwing the dice. And also, kind of interesting to note, you got, in the first 2 rows, 2 Sunday Monday racing cars and 2 Line Power. Both top in the constructor battle right now. Both 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 to go here. Will it enter the green? Will we see a green-white checkered? We'll find out soon. And away we go. That inside line did not get going. Bit of a check up there. Shell driving away. Can Kruger slot in the second here?
Yes, she does. But Wanzing was ready for it.
Yep. One's with the old switcheroo.
But, Kruger tags the wall there, but it's okay. Ryan Pinnell got loose.
Yeah,
kept
way
it safe,
loose there.
But will lose spots. Losing a lot of spots. Now in 9th. Minimum he needs, but he's going to lose another spot to Leiter.
Actually, Lighter's too high right there.
Oh, no, in the wall.
Oh, he keeps it straight, but now the race is on. He hit that wall tunnel.
My goodness.
To the front. Well, keep an eye on that one.
Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go. Michelle leads over Kruger and Wanzing.
Kruger, how aggressive does she want to be here for second? She doesn't want to get turned.
You don't want to leave that top lane. You just don't.
Yeah.
Just keep that top lane and keep it pinned.
Pinell will hang on against Lighter, but Michelle
wins. Kruger advances to the round of 12.
Confirmed.
Ryan Pinell finishes 8th and will also move on to the round of 12. Kept the minimum he needed. He will move on to the next round.
So if your math was correct, Pinell and Lighter were fighting for the last spot.
The 4 that are eliminated are Jeremy Breo, the defending champion, defending no more. Austin Purnell, Steven Oberstadt, and Tommy Withers are the 4 eliminated.
Withers. So Withers falls, meaning that at the end of the day, it was just enough. Lighter and Pinell will hang on. Kruger has the run of her drive. She'll get second. Again, all unofficial. We'll get it confirmed as soon as we can. Keep the update on the ABN socials and the website. But right now, the 4 out, according to Carmen and her good math skills here, are Withers, Oberstadt, Stefan Oberstadt, Jeremy Breo, and Austin Purnell.
That was wild. Again, we're going to try to crunch those points up live for you here based off of what we know.
Smeal's asking about drop, so we got to remember, Withers could have a drop here.
That's what the drop is included in the calculation. So we were mathematically including the drop when we were talking about Withers in this situation.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what we were planning on. So again, we're going to try to do some quick math here. Just trying our best to kind of keep on top of this because we have to input all of the stuff manually, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Pinell finished in 8th place, which gets him clear. Lighter finished in the 9th position. So that was a rough, little hairy situation there. Yeah, we are trying to calculate as much as we can on this. So bear with us. Meanwhile, Daniel Michel doing burnouts deserves to be shown in that process. Race winner. Makes the Sunday Money Racing, winning 2 of the... I think really all 3 races belong to Sunday Money Racing in this round.
Yeah.
Because Roberts, Wanzing, and Michelle.
Yeah. Three different Sunday Money Racing drivers swept all 3 rounds.
That is insanity how precise they have been. Again, we're trying to calculate points here. We're having to do this all by hand, so bear with us. A lot of coding, a lot of nerd stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, while he does that, we will also let you know we do have top 3 interviews when we can get to it. Just doing some quick little crunchings. But it should be worth noting again, Kruger knew the game plan, came in, did what she had to do, was running top 5 all night, and she confirmed herself in. And Ryan Pinell had a bit of a scare late. Couple instants, he even saw a 5 to go. Again, if the math is correct, regardless, he did enough, it seems. Did the bare minimum. And Lighter, again, I wouldn't say the miracle kid, but the man that made it in through basically getting in a situation where a couple cars couldn't make the playoffs, got in at the 11th hour, and is also making it through. So it's going to be interesting. And the next 3 rounds are quite a bundle.
Alrighty, so before we get into the interviews, I know everyone's asking that question as much as they can. Who's where on the points? Obviously, Daniel Michel, the race winner, we'll talk to him in just a second. The points as they run. Again, this is including the drop round for Withers. Ryan Pennell makes it in by 2 points.
So that battle at the end where he was fighting Matthew Eider there, if he got hooked, if he got turned in that situation where he got hit that wall, that would have been curtains for the 12.
Yeah.
The 12 kept it straight. The 12 kept it pointing in the right direction. It was able to even hang on to 8th. He had one more point he could have coughed up, but hangs on and basically holds off 2 of his Presidential Racing teammates and also, to get that spot. So
that is how close the point standings were here tonight. Again, Emma Kruger makes it in, finishing second in tonight's race. She did a phenomenal job. Ryan Pennell, by 2 points, came down to the final 10 laps, but makes it in over Steven Oberstadt.
Yeah.
Oberstadt's championship run comes to an end tonight.
Gonna be kicking himself because the race he had a poor race. He's gonna be wondering what left on the table there. Again, not enough chaos and just kind of struggled a little bit, but whew.
Wild stuff.
All top 12, and now they got a bit of a hump schedule here. They got Texas, Talladega, and Charlotte Roval, and we know some of those drivers are good at Texas, some are good at Dega, some are good at Roval, and we get to see who's got what in these next 3 rounds.
We'll start off with our interview queue here. We'll talk to a third place finisher, Seth Wansing. A wild race tonight for the number 9 crew. Seth, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Got you, Carmen.
What a race. Pretty frantic there, especially at the end. Saw you kind of trying to run a little bit of every lane tonight. How was the race for you? How was that car feeling?
Really tight. Really tight. I made a change during the daytime that still felt good during the warm-up, so I stuck with it, and it just killed me on the long run. Kind of figured out the long run thing, the start of stage 3, and was able to hold pace, just what I needed to do to keep the tires on it. I know there was some contact between me and others. I feel like one of them, someone came across my nose, and the other one, like, I didn't want to hit the 70. And I had already kind of committed to the middle and was in the gas, and then Josh was coming up. So, I mean, I guess I'll take the blame for it. It was definitely incidental. But was just trying my best not to be a part of any playoff controversy tonight, but it seemed like wherever I went, I was part of something. So, glad to get a top 3 out of the deal, kind of keep momentum rolling. That's top 3 in the first 3 rounds of the first 3 races of this round, and glad Sunday Money could sweep the first round of the playoffs.
Obviously, talking about that, sweeping the entire first round of the playoffs. Ben Roberts got a win. Michelle got a win tonight. You won at home last week. How does that feel being, obviously, not a team, not only just a team owner, but how does that feel just in general, knowing that you've got the team to beat so far in the playoffs right now with that perfect sort of win level right now?
It feels really good. Like I said last week during my interview, Texas is really crucial, because then you got Dega and the Roval. So to have a good run at Texas is going to be really important. So to get it started off right there, and then to get through Dega, and then just manage the Roval is going to be important. But I really do think we got the drivers capable of getting all 3 of us into the playoffs. Heck, I'd say I'm the weak link out of the 3, for sure. But I'm still confident I can get to that round of 4. Just got to make it out of the round of 12, because the round of 8 has 3 really good racetracks for me, especially Martinsville. So just super proud of Sunday Money and Daniel tonight. And again, Donald's going to get him one before the year's over. Poor guy can't catch a break. So just super pleased with the sweep, and super pleased with the momentum that we got going, and want to keep it up. And congrats to I would love to know what the what the cutoff line is. My lord, it seems like all of them that were in play had a pretty decent night.
Yeah, the cutoff line ended up being 2 points.
Wow.
Yeah, the cutoff line was 2 points.
Am I allowed to ask who got in?
Ryan Pinnell got the last transfer spot by 2 points over Oberstadt.
Wow. Good for him.
Ryan restarted the race in 10th. If he had finished 10th, he would have been out.
Wow.
That was how close it was.
He was faster than where he finished. I mean, if you didn't get a good restart and then set yourself up in track position to make passes, you'd wear your tires out. But yeah, I know Feemster and Emma both of them drove a hell of a race. So I knew it was going to be tight, and I was just doing whatever I could to stay out of it. You know.
Well, it worked out for you. Obviously, you got all three of your teammates got some extra bonus points going to the next round. Texas coming up next week. Hopefully, a little bit sweeten the deal if you can win your way into the round of 8 in that race next week. Before I let you go and let you celebrate with your team here and get ready for the next week's race, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Seth, the floor is yours. You did a phenomenal job. P3 tonight. Perfect podium streak across the round of 16.
Yeah, thank you to you and Kevin, Carmen, for broadcasting every week. You guys put on a hell of a broadcast each and every week. And I can't wait to go back and watch it because that was chaos, but a good kind of chaos, aside from a few cautions. Thank you to everybody that makes A Squared and ARCS go. And thank you to the fans at home that are still tuned in. And thank you to 213 Somewhere and Midwest Barbecue for being on board. And we'll go on to Texas, as my guy Chase Elliott would say, and see what we can't do there, and try to put the Miller Lite Chevy back in victory lane.
Absolutely, Seth. Good luck on it. Congrats on making it as far as everyone has so far, sweeping the round of 16 with more racing coming up. Another really good track for that team coming up here in Texas in just a week. Good luck, Seth, and enjoy the podium.
Thank you, Carmen.
And that was Seth Wansing, third place finisher here tonight. We'll talk to a driver who, once again, second place finish. Another second place finish for her repertoire, but this time enough to get into the round of 12 and keep those championship ambitions alive. Emma Kruger, second place tonight at Bristol. Emma, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy.
I hear ya.
What a wild race. You did everything you had to do. Second place for the 4th time this season. But this was enough to get into the next round of the playoffs. How are you feeling? And obviously, how is that car feeling? You did phenomenal tonight at Bristol.
Yeah, it felt pretty good, especially on long runs with how we'd set up the car and how we were running our lines most of the way through. Yeah, we got a bit unfortunate in stage 2 with a couple of minor incidents, but we were able to just keep our highs forward, and yeah, we got a good finish out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. A second place finish, a phenomenal result here. Probably your best showing on an oval so far, being able to kind of battle back from being near the back of the field at points and survive all that adversity. You've made it into the round of 12. Now you're looking at this round that probably should favor you a little bit more. You got a race in Texas coming up that's going to be a little bit more technical, a little bit more challenging. And then you've got the last road course race this season at the Charlotte Roval. How do you feel about your chances going into the round of 12 to probably to try to make it a little bit more comfortable for yourself moving into the next round?
I think we're in a much better spot than we were going into the round of 16, because I think those 3 tracks kind of suit our car and my driving style better than the last 3 did. I mean, Bristol was fine and Kansas was just bad luck, but Darlington was just a complete nightmare. But yeah, other than Texas, I'm pretty confident in the other 2. I haven't really ran a race at Texas except for in Indy cars, or redacted cars. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Well, it was a phenomenal job here tonight. Again, for the 4th time this season, a second place finish for the number 70 car, but more importantly, into the round of 12 here and keeping a battle for a championship alive for Line Power Motorsports. Before we let you go, though, and let you get ready for the race to Texas next week, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Emma, the floor is yours. Congrats again. Another podium finish tonight, and this time one with a lot more weight here at Bristol.
Yeah, thanks to Tom mainly for having faith in me and keeping me on board. It was a really tricky season so far, but it looks to be trending in a positive direction. So we'll keep riding that wave. Thanks to Lily as well for spotting for me. Thanks to everyone on the car, Radical, Open Med Foundation, Colin Cancer Foundation. Thanks to everyone in my chat who said very nice things about my hair. And yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, Emma. Again, congratulations. 4th time this season, 2nd place here tonight at Bristol and into the round of 12 in that battle for the championship. Emma, good luck, and we'll see you at Texas.
Thank you.
That was Emma Kruger, 2nd place finish here tonight. One more interview on the docket, and that is that of the race winner in Daniel Michel. Daniel Michel did a phenomenal job tonight, parked up there near the start-finish line. We'll hear what he has to say as Sunday Money Racing swept the round of 16. Daniel, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Alrighty. Perfect for the team and perfect for you to end out this round of 16. That car looked phenomenal from start to finish. How was it in that car, even at the end where there's a lot of pressure on that 25?
It felt pretty good. I knew those laps after the restarts, as long as I had a good restart, I could stay up front and manage my tires, manage my race. Yeah, I just felt really fast. I knew I had some competition. I knew I wasn't like too fast that I would pull away, but it seemed like a lot of people were really conservative on their tires. I know that Bristol typically eats tires, but running that high line, it seemed like you could just stay on the top and then your tires would never go away, at least for me.
Yeah, it seemed like that outside lane was the lane that everyone preferred, but we saw some people try the inside lane there. Obviously, this team was perfect in the round of 16. A very flawless effort that we've not seen happen before in these playoffs. How does that feel, obviously, in your perspective, being a part of something that has been not done before? But how does that feel for the team going towards the round of 12, knowing that Sunday Monday Racing is the team to beat, undeniably, at this point? And obviously, how do you feel going into Texas, a track that should be another one in the wheelhouse of the team?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I wasn't excited for Bristol, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought this was going to be a wreck fest, and it almost got there, but for the most part, it was pretty good. A few incidents here and there, but you know, this track was tough, and I know that Texas is going to be just as tough. It's a 1 groove track, 1.5 really, and it's really hard to pass, really hard to save tire. So it's going to be a track where I'm just going to have to keep it clean, try and stay up front. But I'm really excited for our team. Well, we all race really hard, try and do our best for Seth. We know that Seth appreciates us, and we do everything in our power to win for him.
Well, obviously, it worked out tonight again. This team's been perfect in the round of 16. What a way to close out the round with Texas coming up next week. Everyone's going to bring their A game, as now we're narrowing that down to who's going to be battling for a championship come Phoenix. Before I let you go and get ready for that next week's race in Texas, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats on another race win tonight, adding on to the ones you've already got this season from Fontana and New Hampshire.
Yeah, I just want to thank Seth, keeping my head cool. I know last week I was very heated after what happened, and you know, he kept my head on my shoulder, able to calm me down. I was still mad, but I didn't do anything stupid, and I got to thank him for that. Just overall, the way that he's been working the team, helping us to get better. All the guys that I'm around in the racing, I mean, I make mistakes, they make mistakes, and we all race clean with each other. It's nothing too bad, but yeah, I just want to thank everyone.
Well, Daniel, race win number 3 on the season for you tonight. a phenomenal job to end out the round of 16 with the round of 12 coming up next. Daniel, enjoy the race win, and we'll be seeing more of that number 25 car next week in Fort Worth.
Hope so.
That was Daniel Michelle, race winner here tonight, here after a phenomenal run here in Bristol. Daniel Michelle, third race winner of the season, adding on to his already impressive tally at Fontana, where nobody could see much of anything, and New Hampshire, where he was just very dominant tonight. Michelle adding on to those race wins here. Again, we'll go over the race results as they run. 18 cars took the green flag. 11 of them on the lead lap. Daniel Michelle, Emma Kruger, Seth Wansing, top three. They were the podium finishers tonight. Patrick Oberstadt, Brandon Proudfoot, Brandon Fetterplace, Josh Gaiman, Ryan Pinnell, Matthew Leiter, and Kevin Feemster rounded out the top 10, and that is very, very important. Irish George missed the playoffs, didn't get a chance to get in. Finished 11th on the lead lap. A little bit of pride there for the Bahama boss as he finished there ahead of Austin Mongold, who was 5 laps down. Involved in a lot of early drama that just never let him get caught back up. Steven Oberstadt, same thing, caught up in drama throughout this race. The one at the very end, though, was the one that dealt the biggest blow, ending his race early and knocking him out of the championship running by 2 points. We'll talk about the point standings here in just a little bit. Tom Sears finished 14th, still safe, but not the result he wanted to end the round of 16 on. Going to be a little bit tougher to build momentum now with Texas next week. David Wright in 15th place again. He is safe. He was safe and sound. A lot of pace in that 42 car, but one nasty accident put that car completely on the back foot. Edward Marshall started on the front row. Did not get the finish, though. 41 laps from the finish is where he ended up. Tommy Reynolds ended this race early, had a disconnection issue after 39 laps. And Donald Ray, the first one out after struggling early on in this race. Points as they run. Daniel Michelle locked in. Same with Josh Gaiman, Tommy Reynolds, Brandon Fetterplace, Seth Wansing, Brandon Roberts, just your top 6. David Wright, Tom Sears, Kevin Feemster, Matthew Leiter, Emma Kruger, and Ryan Pinnell move on in the championship hunt. Steven Oberstadt, Tommy Withers, Jeremy Breo, and Austin Purnell, they do not move on. So we will have a new champion in 2023. Will it be a return to form for Seth Wansing, the former 2-time champion, or do we see a brand new face host the A-Squared Cup Series trophy? We find out the next travel for this series, Texas, next Sunday, then Talladega and the Charlotte Roval after that. On behalf of everyone here for ABN Studios, for everyone here at ARCS, the A-Squared Cup Series, Darkside Mustangs, and Midwest Barbecue, on behalf of my commentator Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Sienna. Until next time, we want everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, try to have some fun in the week in advance. We'll see you tomorrow night for the HCL Cup Series from Homestead, Miami. 8 p.m. We'll be live here on ABN Esports 1. But until next time, we'll see you tomorrow night at Homestead. Stay safe, everybody.